Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Boiler Room Sessions number 12. And today is a very special evening because this is our last weekly Wednesday. Laisvie, we close tonight the weekly sessions. My name is Iris from Peppen. My co-host is Laisvie Andrea Ochoa. Hello, Laisvie.
Yes, hello. It is tonight. I'm saying hello from Brussels, from TikTok Art Center. Very happy because, this is our 12th session going weekly. And now we're going to switch and we're going to go monthly. And we have three great performances tonight. It's going to be hot.
Hot and steamy, definitely. I would like to welcome you to when you enter this virtual stage. This is a place that Laisvie and I started 12 weeks ago on April 15, as I recall. And now we have hosted almost 40 artists until today. And it has been very intense and very great and very wonderful. And we were able to create this virtual stage and connect many continents. And tonight we're going to do the same. We're going to connect Cape Town and Vancouver, Amsterdam, Utrecht, and Brussels. So it's something you don't want to miss. But from August on, we have a little break. From August on, we're going to broadcast this virtual stage every month. It's every second Monday of the month. So you can note that in your agenda. Please subscribe to the channel so you're notified, you're not missing a thing. And we are very happy to announce, Laisvie, this is for you, our collaboration, because we're going to another level now with Boiler Room Sessions. And we're going to, from August, monthly collaborate with the platform from Colombia. Laisvie, can you explain something?
Yeah, so we are embracing other platform, and that platform is embracing us. It's called En Tiempo Real, in real time. It's a festival organized by Ana Maria Romano, and is with artists that are musicians, and they do with live composition and also technical sounds, like sorry, more computer sounds. And it's going to be very nice because we are going to have artists from that platform in our monthly sessions. So I'm going to share now the link of the festival on the chat, because you can use the chat. You can please subscribe to our channel. That help us a lot.
Yeah, absolutely, because we really want to create a community now that in several countries we cannot be physically close together or work in contact. Things are changing. I don't know where you are, but here in the Netherlands from now on, July 1, today, we are able to move in the studio and touch within the context of sport or dance or art. Other countries, not yet. However, this platform, we see it still as a value to embrace artists that have urgency in their work and experimental work, and we're able to connect artists from all over the world. So please use the chat, and while I'm going to introduce the artists that we have for you tonight. So we're going to start with Utrecht, with Mary Jansen and her team. And Mary Jansen is a visual artist with, she's going to make a show performance with voice and dance. And after Mary, we're moving to Canada, Vancouver, and Cape Town, South Africa, with Lucy Strauss and Tania Vosgatter. And we will finish the evening with a Colombian artist based in Amsterdam, which will be Paula Chaves Bonilla, aka Chica Scratch. So that is our lineup of tonight. Wonderful. I'm so looking forward. I had a little peek, and it's such a diverse evening of work. I'm very excited. So make sure you have headphones for good sound quality and a good Wi-Fi. That would really help. So, Laisvie, anything you want to say before I'm going to announce our first artist?
Yeah, I'm very happy because we have other artists that have been in our sessions now watching, like Suma.
Great, Suma.
So we say hi to Suma, and we are already with 30 people in our virtual stage. I'm just going to repeat one more time. We host different artists. We have been doing it weekly. Now we're going to change monthly, but this space, this virtual space, is something that we came up as an urgency to continue being an artist without during the quarantine. So yeah, it's a place for experimental art. We host dance, music, and everything in between performance. So actually tonight we're going to have a very multidisciplinary work, which you can tell us more about. It is, please.
Yes, absolutely. So I would like to start with the first performers. Shall I go there and announce our first performers? So we're going to start with visual artist Mary Jansen, and she gathered a group of Barry de Bruin, and the ones that have been seeing all of our boiler room sessions, you probably remember Barry, the beautiful mover and vocalist that was in one of our boiler room sessions, and also Leah Jacob and Petra Vossenberg. And the piece is called Unbecoming. And Miri made this piece already a few months, long before, like half a year ago, I think. She was curated by the Library of Wageningen in Utrecht to make this piece. Now it's called Unbecoming, and it's a movement dance-based art performance focusing on gender identity and diversity. Norms and stereotypes are questioned in a way by showing how we nomadically wander in a landscape that we both influence and interact with, floating somewhere between the rigid forms of geometricality and the rhizomatic movement of becoming in fluidity. Images try to relate to a more diverse and inclusive society and acceptance for deviation from the dominating norms. We become aware of the legitimacy of all identities of all bodies, especially in these times of lockdown in which so much pressure is put on the sick or healthy body, the isolated body. They use improvisation of movement and voice, sound, and visuals. Enjoy the performance of Mary Jansen and her group.
touching. Touching is a matter of response. Touching the other is touching all others, including the self. Touching is a matter of response.
Unbecoming of Mary Jansen and her team, Barry de Bruin and Petra Vossenberg and Leah Jacob. You saw performing, and also you saw Michelle doing the camera. I forgot to mention Michelle. Wonderful. Wow, what a
Yeah.
start of our last weekly Wednesday. For the people that join in now, last weekly Wednesday. From August, we go monthly Monday. So wonderful.
This was not a trio, this was a quintet, like a
Yeah.
quartet with the cameraman and also Mary with her projections. Very interesting, and I want to acknowledge that they are in your studio, Iris.
Yes, I wanted to say, if you wonder what is this beautiful studio and this beautiful light, it is my studio and it's based in Utrecht. So I hope you can come and be there as well one time.
Yeah, and it's really amazing because Mary did this work for for a non-conventional space, but for live, to be witnessed live. And she did a full adaptation to this medium, and she went full on with these 3 cameras, with all this setup that worked so well. And it was so
Yeah.
interesting to have all these perspectives and to see what was going on in that space. And
Yeah,
it was
so
also
beautiful.
beautiful to see people dancing together, right?
To see people in touch again. And it's interesting because when you see it, you're like, oh, there is this mechanism of, because we have been in lockdown for such a long time. And then, I don't know, it's touching me like, there's also the relief of we can touch again when it's, in the context of dance or whatever. But let's not get into that. But at the same time, there's also this feeling of, I don't know. Yeah, it was interesting to notice this little moment of, yeah, it's almost like when the first time you step on the ice, the very first time. Do
Yeah.
I fall in or not? I don't know. It's really beautiful, very beautiful to.
We have some comments in the chat of YouTube. Beautiful performance. Thank you. Wow, fascinating, inspiring, confusing, touching.
Yeah, beautiful. It was really nice to see Mary's visual work. I know Mary because I know her from my classes, and to see her work and her paintings and her visual art, really nice, and the perspective and layering in the space with the performance, I find it very intriguing. So let's hear it. Put it in the chat. And let's slowly move on to our second performers. But if you're in now, please make sure you subscribe to our channel so you're notified in August when we go monthly Monday, which is the second Monday of the month. So you're not, you're notified in time, so it's not so confusing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh,
we can go to our second duet.
we're going to our second duet. We're going to Vancouver and to Cape Town.
Wow.
Yes. So we're going to Lucy Strauss and Tania Lea Vosgatter, which is a music and dance performance. Lucy is a violist and a composer from Cape Town with an interest in interdisciplinary performance. She is currently based in Vancouver while she studies a Master of Music in Viola Performance at the University of British Columbia. Tania is an aspirant screen dance maker, choreographer, teacher, and mover, and based in Cape Town. Now, Tania and Lucy first met in 2018 during the Music Dance 021 performance residency in Cape Town, and now they rehearse and perform music dance over a distance of more than 16,000 kilometers. So I'm very interested to see their lovely work. Here are Lucy and Tania. Thank you. Yeah, an end. Wow, nice, very nice to see your work. Beautiful, the lighting also. Now, I was actually thinking of during the piece about Tanya saying that she was an aspirant screen dance maker. And then while seeing her move in her room, then I could really visualize that cinematic perspective that she has created in her room. So yeah, thank you. So
Completely. So, and I'm now very curious to go to Cape Town because we have had so many great artists from there, and they are always mixing and so holistic, you know, like very, very open and soft dancers. So, I'm very curious to go to Cape Town now.
oh wow, well, bring in your comments. Invite Laisvie. I'll join too. Yeah, but please send us your comments. We like when you use the chat, and also if you, we will finish the evening with the after talk with the artist talk. So please feel free to bring in your comments or questions. Would be nice, and well, we will put them into this conversation. All right. So, thank you. Shall we move
Very,
on?
very nice. Yes,
Yeah.
now we are
Or
going
are
to
there?
have a very great last performance. This is a close friend of mine. She's from Colombia, but she has been in the Netherlands for many years now. And she's a very, very activist artist. I really like that voice, and to have that is very important. So yeah, if you could please introduce to Paula Chaves Bonilla, it would be great.
Absolutely. So our last performance will be more of a performative lecture or an intervention, how she is calling it, and it's by Paula Chaves Bonilla, aka La Chica Scratch. And La Chica Scratch will be doing an action on migrant and queer marica feminisms commemorating LGBTY pride. The ongoing coming out of the closet, forever crushing on lesbian trans love, emotional denunciations on the commodification of the movement and dreaming of transnational solidarity between Northern and Southern feminisms. That's a whole mouthful. So if you have questions about these, put them in our chat. We can ask her afterwards. Also, she'll be switching between Spanish and English. So here, when we're ready, we're going to see La Chica Scratch.
Okay, so I guess you're watching me, but I cannot see myself. So let me see. Yeah. Hi everyone. So I'm receiving you in the like at the window of my house. Let's see if we can open it. Here you can see it's outside. And I'm receiving you at the window because it's a very emblematic sort of symbol for the quarantine, right? A lot of us has like been and are still like in quarantine, locked in our places, in our houses, especially like for my people in Colombia, you know, and people in the South Love who are like literally can go out of their house. And yeah, the window is a place where we where we wonder about what it would be to go out, where also our dreams of a different world are present, and also where we can, you know, connect to the world from a different, from our own place, intimate place. And I want to bring some attention to, to the window, right? As a metaphor also of like coming out of the closet. Salir del closet en español, ¿no? And how the window is also, and the closet is also a very present symbol for queer and all sort of other marginalized people, as a place where we can hide from all the violence that is out there in the normative world, be connected with our like be in our safe space and still, you know, dream about what it would be to have and live in a different world that is not so violent towards us and ultimately towards people, because the oppression of one is the oppression of all. So I'm gonna show you that window. And before I bring you into my house through my digital window, I have to make an announcement, because I'm going to allow you to my personal space. So first of all, an announcement for harassers. So if you are out there, you can just leave right now. It's the moment to do it. I'm taking also this opportunity, super emocional. Oh yeah, it is said I'm going to switch between like English and Spanish. Hope that's all right for everyone. So it's basically the first time that I'm gonna be denouncing a person who harassed my very first love and girlfriend when I was very young in Bogotá. It's really literally the first time. Estoy hablando que es la primera vez que voy a denunciar a una persona que nos abusó cuando estaba yo con mi primer amor, novia. Creo que también, si Margarita está mirando ahí, también te haré una confesión a ti ahí. But yeah, I want to tell you a story just to illustrate a little bit of how, the oppression and the fucked upness and violence that we as lesbians live and have to undergo, because it's not so present, unfortunately, and people don't know so much. So I'll tell you the story. So I was like 20 years old. It was the first time that I had my own place. I was super excited. It was in Bogotá, in La Macarena, barrio bien arriba. And I was dating this person who hasn't, who was living at their parents' place back then. Her mother didn't know her mother's place. Her mother didn't know that she was gay. So it was Easter week. And we were gonna spend it together. She lied about it, and she was going to somewhere else outside, you know, but she stayed actually in Bogota, and we were gonna do this have this week together. I was taking some workshops in circus back then, so we were gonna stay in Bogota but like spend it together. And I think it was literally the first night. It has been also a super big build up, Margarita, because I was dating I dated this person since I was 16, and then there was a super big build up for this moment. And so we were there, we were drinking. I was living back then in an apartment with another guy. A friend left us the apartment, a friend of hers, so like good friend. And basically we were having some beers. He was also there, sniffing cocaine during the whole night, drinking with us, everything to be fine. Suddenly we went to sleep with this person that I was dating. And the last thing I remember is that I fall asleep. We were in underwear. We really prepared to like go to bed because we suddenly felt like super dizzy. Close the door and everything. And I have some visions of this dude at the border of the bed, smoking and sort of like touching his hand somehow under. I think I was quite maybe drunk or something. And the last memory that then I have, this is very vague, is basically this person like Margarita waking me up and fully dressed and telling me that that this fucker had touched her and while we were sleeping, and she just wanted to leave. And yeah, it was a whole nightmare. I can keep on going with the story, but this is the first time que te estamos denunciando a ti, Juan Felipe. No, todavía no consigo tu apellido, pero lo conseguiremos y seguiremos igual. Es la primera denuncia pública que haremos para evitar que otra gente que esté siendo abusada tenga que pasar por eso. All right, so we're gonna start coming into my place, and as we come into my place, I also want to make another announcement, and that is for haters. And when I'm talking about haters, is people who is haters of like people who's doing activism. So I just wanna, say something about these times where activism is suddenly becoming trend, and people seem to be more, you know, with the good and the bad. And so that also sort of like mainstream visibility opens up people for being more open to discussions that they were not open beforehand. So that's great. And at the same time, please acknowledge the people that has been doing this work for like many years already now, that were doing this work when this work was not fashion, that is doing this work when this work is not in fashion context as we speak, because activism is being abused and commodified as we speak. So please watch out for that. Try to support. I know that there is like this long, you know, it almost feels like I don't know, because I also feel it with close friends who don't do so much activism, like a war between non-activist and activist people, and how people talk, and people, you know, the non-activist people kind of blaming activist people because of maybe guilt tripping or being very dogmatic, you know. So what I want to say is that please be mindful that when you talk from an activist perspective, you're wanting to bring visibility to a certain topic that you find very important and valuable. That doesn't mean that that's what you think about the whole entirety of your life. That doesn't mean that you cannot sympathize with other struggles. That doesn't mean that you can sit and listen and be in a non-activist mode, you know. So yeah, shout out for all the people that is doing the work. Your fucking work is amazing. We do so much labor. All this is unpaid, is free. So please acknowledge your friends that are doing that. Bring these people up, and we are ready to start. I'm gonna go and switch the first video. Oh.
Film Stonewall about the 1969 uprising, we again see a whitewashing of history. Stonewall was a bar for hustlers and street queens. It was not like, you know, this respectability bar where preppy white gay men went. That's not what Stonewall was, based on my understanding of history. And it was really people who didn't have anything to lose, who were just tired of being harassed by the police. You see in the early 70s, the gay rights movement not wanting to have anything to do with trans people. Sylvia, Marsha, Street Beans, Femmes started the gay rights movement. I have been beaten. I have had my nose broken. I have been thrown in jail. I have lost my job. I have lost my apartment for gay liberation. And you all treat me this way? What the fuck's wrong with you all? Think about that.
Hi, so I think I'm back. There's some technical fade in and fade out. 2. Yo.
With my little titties and my fat belly, I can tell your man if you finna let me, it's a guarantee that he won't forget me. My body little, my soul is heavy. My little titties be booking cities all around the world. They be fucking with me. I'm a Calvin Klein model, come and get me. Sip the resi up, don't be fucking with me. My little titties are so itty bitty, I go locomotive, chitty chitty, bang bang. Gold hoops and a name chain, 10 boots and like 4 rings. Missy Elliott can't stand the rain. You lames playing the same games. Little titties, I'm so damn pretty. Staircase in the crack Philly. Little titties in a fat kitty. Big pants and some stuffed shoes. Bow, 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 Blues Clues. With my little titties and my fat belly. 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 That girl is a tomboy. That girl is a tomboy. Who that is, ho? That girl is a tomboy. That girl is a tomboy. That girl is a tomboy. Who that? Who that? Who that? Princess Nokia, baby fat. I be where the ladies at. Who know how to shake it fast? We gon' spit that brazy trap. You know that I take it back. I'm spitting the illest now. Yeah, ho. Who that? Who that? Who that? Princess Nokia, make it clap. She with it to set it back and give you the fire track. Y'all watch what's gon' happen next. Who that up in the north? Dennis Rodman the court. When I step up in the function, it's a party, of course. I'm having fun with my friends, and I don't want it to end. And if you finna blow my hot, then I'ma punch you again. With my little titties and my fat belly, my little titties and my fat belly, my little titties and my fat belly. My little titties and my fat belly, my little titties and my fat belly, my little titties and my fat belly. My little titties and my fat belly, my little titties and my fat belly. That girl is a tomboy. That girl is a tomboy. Who that is, ho? That girl is a tomboy. That girl is a tomboy. That girl is a tomboy. He's so in love, he think it's a spell. There's levels to magic and he cannot tell. He fuck with my bro, how my pussy is spelled. My toto is special, got locks like a jail. It's Paula, it's Tommy, it's Mecca, it's naughty. I'm finna sit back and just sip on Bacardi. You come to my party, you gon' meet my army. A room full of girls and we acting real rowdy.
All right. So, yeah, this is a bit weird. I'm sorry if I'm like a bit caught in a lot. It's my first Zoom performance in the quarantine, I know. So the first thing actually that I have to do, I thought I would combine some tasks that I have. So basically, yeah, I've been dating this person since just before the quarantine starts. She is based in Berlin, and we have like created this relation of like BDSM, where like I'm subbing for her, so like being submissive to him, and he sends me like different type of like tasks or homeworks or things that I have to do to please him, basically. So there is this one homework that she sent me because she's like an activist as well, she's older than me, like end of 40s. So like also we're talking a lot about like what is to be, you know, doing transnational activism, transgenerational activism, also transnational because we're migrants, but yeah, transgenerational activism, because there's a lot of beautiful things happening in this, you know, being from different generations and what we have experienced and so on. And it's a person that I admire a lot. I admire a lot their politics, their vision. So basically, this person likes that I articulate and say some things about the current political panorama. She likes to see me doing that, and then yeah, I have to prepare, of course. And then if I said something stupid, then, you know, according to how I do my assessment, basically this person would either prize me or punish me or things like that later on. So I thought, okay, let's mix it today. We're here. I'm gonna do a public thing. I thought it would also serve the thing. So I'm gonna put an alarm that should be ringing, because it's always, I should fit like, so it's a certain amount of topics that I need to talk in a certain amount of time. So that's basically the challenge that I'm gonna be facing. I hope, I have no idea, I hope I'm talking loud enough. I'm doing my best, promise that. All right, so here we go. So yeah, so the first thing that there's basically, I'm gonna check what is the amount of things that I need to talk about. I need to talk about like my identity as non-binary, androgynous, and femme non-binary. Intersectional politics. The commodification. And transnational solidarity. All right, so so I'm gonna start basically with talking about my identity. That's something that I'm like recently starting to voice out loud. It's something that has always been there, but in terms of like publicly displaying that, it's also, I think, one like really the beginning of that. So I'm, discovering articulating how my identity is of a non-binary androgynous femme person. So that means that I do not ascribe with the genders of either like being a woman or being a man, but I ascribe to both, So it's something that also comes from like in ancient cultures, from like two-spirited, like honoring, our indigenous ancestry. And I want to say something about, I guess I'm gonna start with like basic things for now. So like basically, there is within the scope of like transness, you have like a trans woman, which is a person that was born with male genitals, associated to male genitals, but has always been a woman. And then there is so socialized also as a man, and then like, coming out like as a woman. And then there is trans men who are basically the people who were socialized as female, having like so-called like female, although that's very transphobic, associated female genitals, and then, coming out as a trans man, trans boy. And something like I know that for a lot of people, they always ask me, it's very confusing how to, drive and set the correct identity towards a person. So what it's important to keep in mind is how the people want to be called, So if you transition, if you want to be called as a woman, you always say that's a trans woman, and, so you do name the people how they want to be called, basically. And on a more personal level, there is something I definitely have to say regarding me being, a migrant and being like living in between two worlds. So I am based in Amsterdam, but I come from Colombia. So that's where I grew up, where my references are, where all my, heart and roots are very present there, good friends also as well. And of course, there are very different environments, and in terms of also safety for trans and queer people, also very different. So that sort of legacy of the civil war in Colombia, of the parapolitics, of the repression, of the censorship, of the narco-terror, that basically if you don't think alike or you behave the way the government doesn't want, and there'll be consequences, you'll be disciplined, you'll be tortured, you'll be killed. So I carry this pain and this trauma and this fear inside of me. So although I'm living in Amsterdam, that's something that I don't rip off of my identity. And then I live in Amsterdam, where it's the capital of so-called like freedom, and especially when it comes to like gay, like LGBTQ rights. So yeah, what it means for me to come out and voice my identity here. I'm talking a lot in English. Pero quiero decir que lo que significa para mí salir del closet, ¿sabes? Y ser vocal de mi identidad en un espacio como Amsterdam, y teniendo un entorno como Amsterdam, es muy diferente a hacerlo en un entorno como Colombia, donde hay más violencia, donde la violencia está más en tu cara, es más latente, hay menos protección. Y cuando vives como en la mitad también estás, lo que te digo, tú no dejas no es que tú dejas ese trauma atrás, o eso deja de estar, ¿no? Y otra cosa súper importante es como que desafortunadamente muchas veces como tú te identificas o tú te sientes con tu propia identidad, no es lo mismo que como la gente te ve, ¿no? Entonces, hay determinados códigos que han sido normalizados por la cis heteronormatividad, en la que dicen las mujeres pueden hacer ciertas cosas, los hombres ciertas cosas, y determinadas acciones se leen como femeninas o como masculinas, dependiendo de, lo cual no quiere decir que uno como persona se sienta de la misma manera. Entonces, para poner un ejemplo, puede que una persona que sea una persona transmasculina no tenga ningún problema con su no binariedad o con su vulva como genital, pero le toca pretender y pasar por un imaginario y una apariencia cis para que la gente, para sobrevivir básicamente, para que la gente no violente a estas personas. El tiempo se me está yendo, so I have to keep on going. And yeah, the next topic is about a new. So it's really bad. I didn't talk about almost everything. I just talked about one thing. But I'm gonna take just 2 minutes to like wrap up. But yeah, in times of intersectional politics, with all this wave of like, especially in the north, like also happening in the south, but of like Black Lives Matters. Again, please, highlight these voices, do the work that you have to do inside, like see how this mainstream imperialist politics, come into your life as something that make you more aware of something that has been happening always. And it's also a good moment, to ask ourselves, why are we now asking about these questions of racism, of anti-Blackness, of transphobia? Why are we now talking about that as if suddenly something that emerged and that happened? It's been happening for a very long time. Why didn't we speak about when there was all the refugees drowning in the sea? So it's really also about, talking about how we can think of a future of solidarity where we can go hopefully beyond identity politics. I don't dismiss identity politics, they're great as a starting point, but They're also as a starting point very helpful for us to understand different struggles, the specificity that that the struggle is fighting, the history of these struggles, and never, I'm very against globalization, but at the same time not forget that this is part of a bigger struggle and a bigger fight that we are doing, and that is intersectional. So as long as racism is in place, as transphobia is in place, as homophobia is in place, as misogyny is in place, as imperialism is in place, as extraction is in place, as capitalism is in place, as classism is in place, there won't be a real liberation for all. All right, so I have a last present of the coming out of the closet. So I have my friend coming out also tonight. Yeah, voila. So this is a friend that I did for all the trauma that I have experienced in my life, in different moments of my life because of who I am. Also, especially, I guess, like I was thinking a lot about that. This is also why the white board is open over here. But thinking about, this idea of like the white box that is the gallery, and also that being a very like white space, and we as racialized people not feeling comfortable in those spaces, and so wishing that these conversations can happen more, and this shit is 2020, transformations also and reparations are on the move with all this consciousness. And last but not least, this is also dedicated to a lover, love of my life, maybe more like that we had some problems like during the quarantine. So it was very painful, difficult moments. And that sort of like a misunderstanding brought another misunderstanding that was basically that this person was not feeling comfortable with my masculine side or more dominant side, which was a misunderstanding. So I just want to tell you that I know that you love that part of me, that you praise it, that that we have to go through this, and looking forward to the moment that we can come again back together to talk. So I'm gonna make a dance for this. So reset of the stage. And of course, this is also a dedication for like all my ex-girlfriends, all my friends from the lesbian and trans community that have taught me about like so-called female ejaculation, which is also like a transphobic term because it's actually the ejaculation of the vulva. So it is not a myth. I thought it was a myth also. I couldn't believe it until I, experienced it myself. Went into a whole quest. So it's also es un momento también para hablar de la eyaculación femenina, que no es femenina como tal, sino que es la eyaculación de la vulva, que existe, que no es un mito. Para los hombres que estén viendo también esto, por favor, piensen también en la eyaculación de sus parejas y dejemos de tener un sexo que sea tan falocéntrico y centrado en el placer del hombre, ¿no? Y empezarnos a hacer preguntas de cuál es el placer y cómo las mujeres tenemos placer y cuáles son las estrategias que han sido demonizadas también por el imperialismo y el capitalismo. This is for you all. I fucking love you. You're fucking gorgeous. This is why I'm here, because of you all. Yo, I'm gonna make a dance for you.
Hi.
Yo, atrapadas. Mira infinito en mi epitafio a la hora del deceso, con energías de peso y un corazón de fierro. Ser asesino confeso, de loca acribillado por el bien de mi proceso. Un trago al piso y un saludo al cielo. Así que dame un break para convertirlo eterno, eterno como tú. He matado a Belcebú, intelecto callejero, sabiduría en magnitud, inminente plenitud. Quedo un péndulo contando hasta la praxis. Llego al punto de éxtasis. Si quieren silenciarme como a Gandhi, voy a reencarnarme en sonidos de pan y funky. Vamos a hacerlo mágico, vamos a hacerlo muy nasty.
Lo que suena no es mi voz, es mi yo interior. Lo que escuchas no es la voz, es lo que corta con filo de hoz. No es ser la uno ni la dos, hoy salen besos de mi boca. Mañana la inspiración brinca, loca por mis versos de pacotilla. Estilo de alcantarilla, gasté muchas zapatillas matando colillas. Conocí Lima carreando, luego le metí en tarima construida con parlantes en la esquina. Aquí no existe rey, mucho menos diva. Están los que se agilan, los que son hip hop, pero solo un día. Estoy moviendo la cabeza toda una vida. Me encanta que el foco se encienda en la chimba y crear sin temor, volar, flotar en el limbo que es el cambio. Vestirlo pa' ancho y prender el troncho. Cara de tronco como las letras que hay detrás de la mente en blanco. Si bronca me tienen, pues les tengo sioncas. Atrapada pero con el mismo destino, acabar en jonca. Si bronca me tienen, pues les tengo sioncas. ¿Qué? Pues les tengo sioncas.
Bam, 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 bam. Mi Dios confundió a Babel y vengo en nombre de él. Hoy me ha dado este nivel, pues yo soy como Ezequiel. Quien me fortalece es él. Me sacó de un negro túnel, yo hice ser ese pastel. Si bro, voy a ser como él. I turn my back on her, pues nada se compara con su amor eterno y fiel. Yeah, yeah. Yo solo vine pa' pintar la ría. Las cosas como son, sí o no batería. Si quieres dejar esa vida fría, fría, confía en el único que por ti ha dado su vida. Yo,
Si tú creías que en Perú no había de esto,
le quedo con beso completo, no voy a desperdicia mi verso. Hablando de vanagloria, cuando fue ya ve que en beso lo adverso. Su palabra es mi refuerzo, el diablo lo tengo de almuerzo. Juntito todito los gente que no rapen nadie se creen los mejores de este universo. Flow killer, tengo un flow killer, Peruvian killer. Y hasta el momento ellos no lo asimilan. Esto es peligro, ey, no es mentira. Quien nace parto jamás se quita, se vira. Peruvian killer. Y hasta el momento ellos no lo asimilan. Esto es peligro, ey, no es mentira. Quien nace parto jamás se quita, se vira.
Andan palteados por un par de likes, nada es como el 95. Esa ajena postura no te queda, déjenle cual track. Quieren ser Beltrán y no Rosa Par, borrar estigmas con polenical. Escupí fuego y en el 23 y quieren apagar mi brillo con un poco de hielo. Así metal en yo seré express, sonando en micros en canales. Y si puedo sueltan algún party, you got it. Te sientes como Hannibal probando carnes, luego vas tirando mierda hablando como grande. Antes de señalar que no debo estar sonando en flyer, pregúntate por qué no estás en mi lugar. Llego a cumplir el dream como si fuera un instante, o a soltarlo clean como me enseñó mi madre. Ayer rodando entre visos de banales, hoy escribiendo obras y epopeyas como Dante.
Pongamos todita mi rima, consuma la rima y no te equivoques. La doña de flow ha parido toda mi vivencia para que tú lo cheques. No te copies, corre donde tú vas.
Okay. Wow, wow, wow. That was
Paula
that
Chaves
chica
Bonilla.
scratch. Yes, with a very personal, very, very personal work. It's the first time that we have this kind of format, and it did feel like a lecture.
Yes, and it was also, I want to also thank also a little bit on behalf of our audience for thank Paula for inviting us in such a personal space that she offered, and the format that she chose was unfamiliar for us from the beginning, an experiment, and I'm very happy that that this is also included in our boiler room sessions. So please share us your comments and questions or thoughts or confusions with us.
Yeah, very personal, very touching, and a lot to reflect on and to talk about, to discuss a lot of subjects that are very important at the moment. And yeah, I'm also very happy to have witnessed this. Thank you, Paula. Very personal. And now we can have all the artists coming back to continue our talk, because
Yeah,
I felt that I was already part of a conversation. So let's
yes.
continue the conversation with everyone now.
Yeah, and also saying that because we have limited time to do an after talk with the artists. So the moment that you feel you really want to share more of your thoughts, they're in the chat. You can see all the links to the artists, so you can address them directly. And feel free also to do that. I'm sure they would be very welcome to hear your thoughts on their work. And also I take this opportunity while the people are coming back into our virtual stage for our mix and mingle with audience and performers to share with you that for the people that came in later, this was our last weekly Wednesday. I'm already in it, and in August we go monthly Monday, every second Monday of the month. And from August, we will work together with Ana Maria Romano from Colombia with her platform in real time, which is in Spanish.
En tiempo real.
Thank you. So artists from her platform will be included in our program starting in August. So welcome back. Artists, thank you so much for all of your contributions and work on our last day. Applause for all of you. Thank you so much. And yeah.
Now we are going to have Tania. She is going to propose this methodology to lead the after talk.
Cool. I attended a workshop with Kerry Nichols in October last year, and she introduced a method by a woman, a choreographer, female choreographer called Liz Lerman, and it's called the critical response process. And it's a great way after a performance or when watching a work in progress to give the artist agency over the feedback that they get for their work. So it's a 4-step process. We don't have time to cover all 4 steps, but the very first step is statements of meaning. And I thought that might be a very nice way to end off this incredible session, this very diverse session, with all of us sharing our statements of meaning. So what statements of meaning is basically what moved you, what stood out for you, what was meaningful to you. Yeah, that's step 1. So maybe we can start with Mary's work, and we could all share what moved us, what stood out for us, yeah, what was meaningful. Great.
Well,
I would like to begin.
Good.
Okay, go for it.
No, I was just very happy to see the cameraman as part of the choreography. For me, that really stood out. Like I think, yes. I was also happy to see him with the other camera, and I really saw a full choreography of what he was doing. I was also very busy with his body and how he was manipulating the camera. So for me, it was truly a quartet in that sense. But I was also aware of Mary with her visuals, so that made it a quintet. Yeah, so that stood out for me a lot.
Yeah, I really loved the dimensionality of it. I just felt like there were just so many layers and dimensions, and it felt like it went like this, the work, the whole time. So thank you so much for exploring and being brave enough to explore with all those mediums live on the internet. Yeah, thank you. Would anyone else like to offer Mary and her team statements? Thank you, Lucy.
I just thought it was beautiful how there were so many bodies and so many selves of each body. You know, there's the person himself, and then on the camera, and then the reflection on the floor, and the shadow, and then the slight latency between the two different videos was really beautiful. I love that. And then also Barry's singing was very touching and inspiring, and I kept it with me in my playing. So thank you for that.
And it's my mind. Yeah, I was like in and out because I was preparing for my performance, but I could see a little bit, and I have to say a bit similar to what Iris said. I was very touching and surprised too after this quarantine and all this happened, like seeing bodies dancing together, touching. It's like, it's so emotional. It's so beautiful. Like fuck, like we. I yearn for that a lot, so it was really touching to see you doing that. I could also see that from the snapshots that I had, that you have a connection, that you've been maybe working for a while, or that you felt, you know, this sort of groupness and collective energy that was very captivating. I think you were improvising. Fuck, I hope I'm being heard. And I'm such a fan of improvising also. That was very touching and inspiring to see you doing that. I think I've frozen.
Yeah, but your sound is still good, so we can totally hear you, even the image is frozen, so not to worry about that. Yeah. I also was really impressed by the layering of the perspectives. So I really like also what Tania was saying about the different dimensions. This stacking is layering of imagery, like on the cube, and that changing of the cube, but also on the screen, different angles and positioning. Sound, live sound, recorded sound, and also the moment in the end with this touch was like also what Paula was saying, really like it was really deep inside something. I was quite surprised that I felt that, seeing the touch of bodies again. Yeah.
Awesome. Should we move on to the next piece, just for sake of time? Okay, so the wonderful Lucy and I improvised together live on the internet. Would anyone like to offer us statements of meaning?
Well, I'm always noticing these technological things, but that for me also come with meaning. And on YouTube, you were one next to each other, and you both started from the center and then spreading out. So for me, that was a metaphor for the whole performance, to see how connected you were, and like, you came from the same source, and it was like two different entities, but sharing the same origin, let's say.
Mag staan?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. We missed the first part a bit because we were busy with the end of our own part. But actually what I really liked was the two two different views from the two screenings. So the one was really frontal, and the other was like more diagonal, and they were really adding to each other. So I really liked that. Yeah. And I really like the music also. Yeah.
Yeah, I also like to share what what Laisvie was saying, that it felt really like from one root, growing out from one root into more this independent and two different worlds, or different worlds. So from the one root, and what I think it was coincident, but the one root was the violin and the arm, and it was really, maybe it was not, but it was really beautiful. And this one root, but then also really something very separate. So then I could really go with the room of Tania, which was for me more cinematic, also with the shadows and the light, and it reminded me of the 20s, something like this 20s cinema, like silent movies. And then they have the sound that has really its own dynamic, regardless of the other room. So yeah, that really, I found that very striking.
I will also like to say that for me, your eyes, Tania, were very captivating. I don't know, I was really with you and your eyes somehow. And the ending was very magical because you really developed it and you really took the time to arrive, and it arrived in a perfect way. You know, it's like this magic of instant composition, of improvisation, because Lucy was like, going out, going out, going out, going out. And you were like in the middle, in the middle, in the middle. And then it was like just the arm, so connected to your paint in the wall behind, with that little spiral that you have there. Yeah, it was all connected. So that was for me a true magic moment emerging from the instant composition.
And I wonder also if we also have remarks from our audience on how we are now describing the performances that we also like to share in the room.
Well, we have a lot of, wow, Lucy, that was super cool, beautiful, very nice work, good camera work, very moving, wonderful. Lucy and Tania, thank you. Great setup and performance. Thank you. Yes, thanks. Intimate, great light.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lucy, do you want to say anything before we move on to Paula?
No, it's okay.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. And last but definitely not least, the powerhouse Paula. Yeah. Who would like to offer their statements of meaning for this very intimate and personal work that we saw this evening?
Well, I would like to start.
Cool.
Yeah, I must recognize that towards the end, I was feeling even a little bit of stress or fear, or I don't know, like you took us to the edge, Paula. Through the whole building up and just going in and realizing that it was such a truthful and honest conversation that you were sharing, well, directly with us in the Zoom call, but then to YouTube. And you know, I come from Colombia as well, so I was really also thinking, oh my God, yeah, this is hard. We do carry a lot of pain, and we do carry a lot of there is a lot of aggression that we have been receiving, and what do we do with that, right? What do we do with that? So that was for me very, very meaningful, this reflection.
I also like to share, and maybe I need more time in different phases. First of all, I really want to thank you for inviting us into your home and the way you did that, and also this very personal space that you share with all of us with such an integrity, and also how you build up and touching all the taboos. Also taboos I didn't even know there were taboos, but then feeling from somewhere in my core that there are also taboos within me. And I found that the most valuable thing that you have given me. So thank you so much.
Thanks for sharing.
I would like to. I'm sorry.
You have unmuted yourself. You have muted yourself, I mean.
Sorry, that was me because of the loud
okay,
sound.
yeah, there you are.
Sorry.
Is
Yeah.
better?
No, you're in the.
Okay.
Maybe if you fix that, we maybe move first to someone else.
I just want to say thank you, Paula, for taking art into the activism space and really being bold. It's a very, very brave move to take something and step into that space. And it says a lot about, yeah, we bring the personal into our performance, and it's a very, very bold move to do that. So thank you for being brave. Yeah, thank you for being bold and brave.
Yes, I mean, we've all been talking for months about how we can all see each other's faces and we're in each other's homes. And then we were in your space, but also in a deeper space, which was different from the other performances that we've seen. Thank you.
So Mary, maybe now you're able to speak.
Okay, I can try again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in line with all the others, I was really impressed with the personal story. And yeah, I think now also with Black Lives Matter movement, I think it's really good to, yeah, you could also say Queer Lives Matter, like to be confronted what it is for somebody in person to be in a maybe very vulnerable situation. So thank you very much for that. Yeah.
And I'm
in the back we
share
have
with
Leah
you.
and Mary also. So if you also want to say something, so you're not the silent dancers, huh, in this thing.
I'm just going to share what there is on YouTube on the chat. Brave, edgy, creating awareness is everything, however uncomfortable. Very personal and universal. Universal. Thank you, Paula. Wow, qué lindo. Go, ma'am.
Tania. Yeah.
And that sums up the first step of the Liz Lerman critical response process.
Yes.
Yeah, there are another 3 steps, but yeah, that sums it up. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you also very much. And for now, we are going to conclude, and I'm very aware that it is not, we're not able to conclude in a way after the performance that Paula left us with. So I do invite you to, if there's food for thought and you feel for one of these performances or more, you wish to reconnect, please go and contact the artists or contact us so we can continue exchanging. Yeah, you want to say something, Paula?
No, this is like, I agree. Like
you agree. Okay, cool. You agree. Cool.
I want to say thank you also to Tania. This was, I think, the best after talk we have. So I think we're going to steal your methodology.
Well, it was the most structured. It was the most structured
the
one.
most structured, yeah.
But not necessarily the most best one.
Yeah, but it was really good to follow this structure. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, so we move into a sort of after dressing room situation. I'm sorry for you viewers, you'll miss out on that one. But we will continue from August again. And we're going to continue the virtual stage also when the lockdown is not there anymore, because we do see that there is value to have this platform where artists from all over the continents can still collaborate. And on a Monday, you're always at home on a Monday, right? At least one Monday a month you are. So please subscribe to our channel. Be with us, be safe, be healthy, and have a great summer.
Yes.
And see you in August.
See you in August. Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.